I'm the first one to do that. I bet you never knew that. Back like a tailbone. Who you got the tail on? If it ain't about me, about whole D, about face. If you ain't on higher, learn it. The soda in the pot and the fire, burn it. This shit is so dope. You might wanna be my guest. This shit is so dope. You might wanna be my.
Man, whew. It's weird how I've just got done watching this anime and I'm out of breath for some reason. I don't know why. I can't explain why. But anyway, Banana Fish is an action anime thriller series that is based on a manga by the same name by Akemi Yoshida. In New York, Ash Lynx attempts to survive as a gang leader. The secret that drove Ash's older brother mad in Vietnam has now fallen into the hands of Papa Dynagolzi at the worst time when Eiji Okamura meets Ash. Now honestly, I did not know nothing about this anime existing. Thank God a good friend of mine, and I'm about to say a good eye peeler when it comes to anime recommendations, named Kyle, has introduced me to this anime and really wanted me to watch it. Now, I'm gonna have to say, by me watching this anime, I was not just entertained by this anime, but I was literally disappointed that I never came across this anime. I normally recommend people to review and check out these animes. That's the reason I'm a critic in the first place. So by him telling me about this anime and I should check it out, and him reviewing it himself and telling me that this anime deserves good praise, I guess I consider myself schooled, but only momentarily, because I go hard on my reviews. But let's just start by saying that this anime did blow me away. This anime is bursting with so much thrill, so much shocks, twists, and turns. The anime starts off pretty quickly, but in a thrilling way, when one of the people from the Vietnam goes out of nowhere and just shoots a few of his own comrades and then shoots himself due to insanity. At least that's what they want us to believe. But it's also an introduction to let us know what's to come of the reason why he's done this, and give us more introduction and innovation with the characters that is given to us later in the series, which pulls in more into what this anime has stood for and the main strength of it, honestly. What this anime is mainly stand for is not just the character development and the chemistry of these characters, which you will get pulled in a lot. I don't think there's not one character on here that was out of line. I think that every character on this anime has done well with me, even when they have left the series or they have ended up transitioning to the point where they began to be corrupted, or there was a dark past about them that made me feel as if it did not stand out for me to the point where it was unnecessary. No, like these reasons of these characters acting a certain way or them progressing through the story made me like them even more and made me understand these characters, even the bad guys. But the main focus of this anime is just the mystery itself, of the name of the anime, Banana Fish. Now, every time I talk about this anime, people always tell me, why is it called Banana Fish? What does that name have to do with anything? I said the same thing too when I was introduced to this anime. But let's be fair here. When it comes to animes that have these type of names, Banana Fish is one of the only animes that has that type of weird name. But the name actually speaks for the mystery of us unfolding to the truth of Banana Fish and what it stood for. Don't worry. You're going to find out why it's called that and what's the main premise of Banana Fish itself. As we get pulled into the story, we get introduced to two characters, which is Ash Lynx and Eiji Okamura. Now, these are two of the main characters that I was really looking in with a thick-ass microscope, because the story is mainly focused on both of them, especially these two's visions of how things are getting into the play aspect of how they're going to handle things under pressure or how they see things in closure. Ash Lynx, as I explained in the headline, he is a gang leader. which threw me off guard. But we begin to see why he's a why he's a gang leader, how he get forced into the rough aspects of where he's at. Then at the same time, showing us his rough past of how he became this dark entity that is dwelling into his soul, which is causing him to make these rough and embedding actions that make you question his character. His character made me feel a lot for him. It made me feel as if this character is heartless, cold-blooded, but at the same time you feel that he is trying to get out of that, and there was no way for him to get out of it because of the circle that he's in. He is filled with so many people that he does not trust, so many people that want to backstab him, so many people that want to use him for prostitution, so many people that just see an advantage, but he has to go along with it because they may have information that that he may use. They may have a favor that he may have to go across sooner or later. So at the same time, he goes through anything without trust, and it was really breaking my heart to see Ash's character, which is where Edgy comes in. A person that just visits the area and he gets caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. And Ash sees this character, and at the same time he noticed that this is a person that is going to stand out. And honestly, I thought by Edgy being completely opposite from Ash, by him being so nice, him having this type of lighthearted energy motivation to the point where he wasn't just talking to Ash about him trying to stop all this gang violence. He was actually trying to influence that to everybody. I thought he was going to get in the way to the anime, but he was actually the heartwarming gesture of the anime. Him and a lot of other people, but he was actually trying to let Ash know that he was better than this, that he is way beyond this. I see potential in you of you trying to change, which grew the attachment of these two characters. And I wanted to see more of that, and I got more of that here, because as the anime unfolds and the story was beginning to reveal so many mysteries that I was very, very stressed out to try to see if they was going to come across all these answers, especially when things got bad, when there was a lot of gunplay, a lot of action, a lot of death, especially unexpected death. The body count in this anime really caught me off guard. People died in this anime that I did not expect that was going to get killed off. Yeah, I cried a lot. I cried a lot in this anime, especially the second episode. The second episode really took me off guard when they killed off a certain character, but that just shows you how well done the choreography is and the pacing of the characters. Anybody that watched this, that seen this anime, is not going to tell you that it is lacking good character development. Ash and Edgy's character development was done perfectly well, to the point where even if they showed us some side characters, it didn't drift me away for me to care about Ash and Edgy's connection. I still love the fact that they showed me these two characters, and I wanted nothing but happiness with both of them, especially with Ash's character. We want him to love again. We want him to feel trusted. We want him to go around people and for him to feel comfortable. Same thing with Edgy, but in a different aspect of what he's trying to achieve. The anime has a mixture of so many aspects. It has good dialogue, it has a very good story, have very good chemistry. I keep saying good character development, but it needs to keep getting praise over and over and over and over again. It has good violence when it needs to, especially when it comes to the hand-to-hand combat and gunplay. And it actually done good with the comedy. There was some comedy on this anime that took me off guard, and I was beginning to laugh, but it was in a weird way, because when this anime made me cry, made me feel sentimental, made me feel heartbroken, made me feel literally like on the hinges of just falling off sanity and just literally going apeshit, because this anime is filled with so many mixture emotions. When they cracked the joke, I did feel like it was necessary because I needed my mind and my attention to run low, but it was like crazy laughter because I was still in that sanity of what they showed me. So when they showed me the comedy scenes, I was like like Pedro Pascal.
Climb.
Hey, what's going on?
But overall, this anime is filled with so many of these aspects. Action, blood and gore, chemistry, dialogue, sentimental scenes. And they fit it all perfectly here. And it is worth it. It is necessary. They know when to add these aspects on here. And it's not to be overlooked. Let's talk about the bad guys here. I gave the bad guy dialogue praise, but not enough to the point where it needs to be mentioned. The bad guys' development and their cycle on this anime was done well. It was done pretty good. There were some enemies on here that I could sadly can relate to when it comes to their own path of what led them to destruction. When it comes to no parenthood, and when it comes to no people giving them certain advice of how to live their life, they're going to learn the hard way. And some of these characters that end up getting into that brink of evil end up learning the hard way, especially Yut Ling. If I'm saying it wrong, no, it's Yut Lung. I'm sorry, Yut Lung. Yut Lung stood out for me. And at one point when I seen this character, I first felt like this character was sneaky, which he is, because he's a schemer, con artist, but at the same time, he rubs it in people's faces, especially when he has his own way. But later into the series, right when you begin to hate his motivations, when it comes to him being in that brink of persuading people to kill Ash and kill Edgy, you begin to understand why he feels this way. And it begins to come out of a source of jealousy because he feels envy of these two because he can't find love of his own. One of the main enemies, though, that stood out for me was Arthur. Frederick Arthur. I hated him so much. He was like the rival of Ash, but at the same time, he wanted to do more than just overthrow him and overpower him. This was a motherfucker that would do anything to rub Ash the wrong way, even persuade him to kill off one of my favorite characters in the anime that I did not mention. After he did that, I was like, yeah, that son of a bitch has to die. But again, I can't hate the anime because of that, but I can hate him because of that, which is in a good cause because it builds up that tension for you to hate his guts. So when he ends up doing this, you begin to feel that gravitation even more. So when Ash and Arthur begins to have this stand-on battle, it was an intense ride for me. Even up until the last episode, I still felt like that was one of the best fight scenes I've seen this year. But nobody holds a torch of their enemy tension more than Dino Galose. Dino, he is like the kingpin in this anime. He is a swindler. He is, oh man, he's a human trafficker too. And at the same time, he is a person who has created Ash in this path of destruction of him getting what he wants. But I liked it, Dino. I liked it, his intentions and his motivations. When it comes to all the characters' pacings and their reasons, to be fair here, Dino character development cycle of you knowing his intentions was less than all of them. But at the same time, it was enough for me to get pulled in by his character and what he stands for. He still was a good, outposing character to me. So when I saw him, I really did feel like he needed to be respected and at the same time be assassinated. Overall, this anime will make you sentimental. This anime will pull you into the edge of your seat, especially if you love action and intense play of these characters being in the brink of death. This anime will make you cry a lot. Especially the ending. The ending of this anime really pulled me in, but at the same time, it wasn't in a way where I was literally broken down. It was kind of a predictable ending, in my opinion, especially if you knew how things was going to play out, kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde situation. But at the same time, I was still very sentimental, especially when it came to the closure of these characters. It is not just with Ash and Edgy, it's with all the other characters that made it out of this alive. Are they going to have closure? Are they going to find who they're looking for? And at the same time, are they going to find the answers that is bringing them to this darkness of what made them part of this whole game charade in the first place? The anime ended with some cliffhanger notes, but at the same time, I was satisfied of what happened to the main two, Edgy and Ash. At the end of the day, it kind of just reconciles with those two. How's it going to end with those two? And it's a realistic ending to me. I did not have a problem with it. I thought the ending of this anime was acceptable and necessary. Some people may debate with that, but at the same time, this is just my opinion. And even though people still have attention spans of negativity when it comes to how I review things, I still have to keep saying I'm a regular black man that's just saying things on the internet. Overall, the anime's strong pinpoint is the pacing and the character development itself, and how these kids get fallen in play with the gang activity. You're going to love this anime, especially if you have not seen it, and for people who have seen Banana Fish can agree with me on that method. I'm gonna have to give Banana Fish an A. I really love this anime a lot. I really did enjoy this anime. I watched it on Amazon Prime Video. That's the first time in I think this is actually the first time in ever since I've streamed and watched an anime. Look at all these animes I own. I like to own what I use. But my good buddy Kyle, he recommended me to watch this in a streaming manner, just to see if I was gonna waste money. That was very kind of you, Kyle. But I enjoyed this anime so much at the point where I might just buy the manga and buy the Blu-ray if it's available. I miss hearing that bell. Other than that, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for more of my upcoming anime reviews and other videos headed your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher. You guys have a good day.